Well, it's good to get another week going, and certainly need to have a great week of preparation and get ready to go down to Evanston and play a very good Northwestern team.
Paul, in the past, they've really ridden their running game or tried to set up their throw game, but it seems to be a little bit different this year, although they ran a little bit against Rutgers. What do you see from Thorson, who's played a ton of games and probably seen anything you can throw at him defensively?
Yeah, I mean, and I think, there certainly were games where put it in his hands, and he's a really good quarterback and competitive, and I think that's their team. The games we've had with them in the past, they've been, you got to fight for everything, and he's played a lot of football, and I think he has probably seen about everything, try to throw at him his way, and I think they got a really good team, and certainly he's a big part of it.
Well, it seems like your offensive line has come on strong the last few games. How much improvement have you seen in that group from maybe before the bye week to now?
Well, I think that they're, the group's, it's a good group, and they're purposeful in their work, and I think that, they take a lot of pride in trying to get better, and each week you're tested differently, and so it's this week will be a different test, and we need for us to be our best offense. We need them to be really good, and we need them to continue to improve, but they want to be as good as they can be, and collectively, and it's made up of each individual with that. So I've liked what they've done and need to continue to keep getting better.
All that punt on Saturday in the snow was obviously pretty fluky, that one notwithstanding. What have your impressions been of the punt game, and do you like what you've gotten out of Anthony so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think you take a look at it, and we've had our moments that have been really good, and then, we've had some where we'd like to be better. And so I think each guy, you can kind of own their part of it, for the good and for the areas that we can get better. I think Anthony's had a number of really good punts, and probably like a lot of guys on our team, some that he'd like to have back, and so we just need him to focus on the moment and focus on the little things that he can do to help himself that helps our team.
Tom. Well, when you look at Wisconsin Northwestern, there have been a lot of interesting games, let's say, high scoring, low scoring, upsets, etc. What do you think characterizes it? What do you think makes this series what it is?
I think it's, obviously, Pat's been there a long time and really respect what he's done with the program. And they've had great continuity on their staff. And, I had the chance to work with their defense coordinator, Hank, and he's a really good football coach. And I think their players, they play the game, a way that you appreciate. They're tough and they're smart, they're talented, and that you've got to earn everything. I think that's what leads to it. And it's, in the past, it's been good football teams too. And good football teams are made up of good players, but also guys that believe in the team. And so I think that's what's led to those. And they have you can almost expect anything in a game like this. And, it's they're fun to play in because that you're going to be tested.
Paul, you mentioned Hank Witz. Some defensive coordinators like to come at you with pressure all the time. Other guys want to try to make you dink and dunk down the field. How would you characterize the type of defenses that he has had, including this one, and what they try to take away from offenses and make them do?
Well, I think that it starts with a good, sound kind of base defense, and out of that base, can give you different looks. So you can't just, oh, here this is, so there's some variations out of their base, and yet I think, their players know what they're doing, and you can see that. And so I think you see that in the way they play, with no hesitation. They play fast, and I think they've got good players that are doing that. But, Hank is one that, he's going to be prepared, and the players will be prepared. One thing for a coach to be prepared, but for their players to get it is another. And I think that, a good defense to me is one that makes you got to earn what you get. You have to execute. You have to beat them, and they don't give you a lot of things. They won't give you free ones, and so I think he's kind of a mix. There'll be pressures, and yet they'll play in a base, and yet it's not. I think their defense, they won't give you anything. You've got to go earn it.
Well, when there are as many guys as there are in a football team, there are bound to be some that don't play as much as they want. I imagine Chryst James is one of those. You've known him for a long time now. Have you seen him handle kind of what's happened to him in his last season, and has it affected him in practice or just being around the team?
Well, no, I mean, I think that you're right. I mean, I think every player comes in, whether for their career or each season, with expectations, and every day you've got an opportunity to continue to work your craft, and I think no doubt he's working, but there's also been guys ahead of him that are producing and playing well, and you don't know when those opportunities come as a player, and I'm not saying this is the easy part, but I'll go back to last week and Evan Bondock. You just have to continue to work, and that's easier said than done, because opportunity does and will come your way, and then when it does, are you ready and prepared for it? And he's trying to help the team in some other areas on special teams, and he's got to continue to work.
Jeff, well, when you flip on the film of Northwestern's defense, what stands out of what their defensive lineman 97 is able to do in terms of getting at the quarterback?
He's disruptive and good player in that whole front. We've seen that front before, and they're good. And you see it. I mean, they're powerful. There's good strength. They get on edges. They're not kind of like we were talking about with Hank. I think there's a little bit of that personality. They're not just going to do one thing. They know their change-ups, and I think that's what makes them effective. Run game, but also like you're alluding to in the pass game. I mean, you see them disrupt. Whether it's four-man pressures, you see it with someone with the three. I mean, they're affecting the quarterback, and that's a credit to them. That's a challenge for us.
Isaiah's been out a few weeks now. Is this going to be a longer-term thing for him, or is he getting closer?
Well, he's making progress, and we'll continue to find out and see. But it's really that with all the other than we added Leve to it, and kind of see what happens as the week progresses, and the other guys, you just hope they continue to progress.